Good evening and welcome to Hudson High School's Raider Stadium for tonight's sectional semifinal matchup between the visiting Eau Claire Memorial High School Old Abe's and your hometown Hudson Raiders. Please turn your attention to the scoreboard for a message from this year's Raider captains.
The WIAA Big Rivers Conference and Hudson High School requires good sportsmanship at education-based interscholastic events.
We ask all in attendance to appreciate the efforts of all competitors, coaches, and officials in a positive manner. We all play an important role in providing opportunities for all participants to compete in a healthy and safe environment.
Lastly, please be reminded that the state law prohibits the use of alcohol and tobacco products in the area used by public schools. Would you all please rise and honor America by removing your hats for the national anthem?
And now for tonight's starting lineups, starting with the Eau Claire Memorial Old Abe's. Number 1, Lydia Palmier. Number 3, Ava Palmier. Number 4, Annika Skolos. Number 8, Ella Herman. Number 9, Molly LaRusso. Number 10, Claire Shinners. Number 12, Aurora Woodford. Number 15, Avery Bradle. Number 18, Sydney Munson. Number 20, Ellie Hudson. And number 0, Ashlyn Schrader. The Old Abe's are coached by Olivia Mrozansky. And now for your hometown Raiders. And here we go, folks. This is a big matchup here tonight at Hudson High School Raider Stadium with the hometown Hudson Raiders hosting the Eau Claire Memorial High School Old Abe's in the big semifinal sectional playoff matchup. Winner of this game will play, I believe it is Saturday, to go to state. So it's a big match, and exciting that two teams from the same conference are fighting it out. They certainly know each other, and should be a great matchup at this stage of things. So the visiting Eau Claire Memorial Old Abe's are in white on your screen, playing from right to left, and the Hudson Raiders, the hometown team, are in the blue, playing from left to right on your screen for the first half. About a minute in, the Raiders brought it down, got it taken away by the Old Abe's, and now the Old Abe's have reciprocated by bringing it down the field on the Raiders, and now we have a throw-in. I am attempting to try to get online to have the YouTube feed up, and there's a quick shot off by the Old Abe's, but Hannah Kendhammer is there. It was an off-balanced shot. The Old Abe's did not get a solid foot on that, so Kendhammer was able to manage that, but still, Old Abe's found a little gap there, and coming back down again is the Old Abe's, but a little team defense there is going to end up with a goal kick for the Raiders. So like I said, I am attempting to get online, but I'm having to have a little trouble. So I like to normally watch the YouTube feed and have people comment, but the internet is not cooperating for me today. So we'll see what we can do. But nonetheless, hopefully you're enjoying watching this as the River Channel is providing this. A nice chip ball there by the Old Abe's gets it into the Raiders box, and a quick little defensive play by the Raiders saves a Old Abe's attempt there, and now the Old Abe's will have a corner kick. So this is a dangerous opportunity for the Old Abe's. Getting the ball out in the corner there allows you to put that ball right into the scoring area. The Old Abe's get a nice header. There's a pretty solid corner kick there, and the Old Abe's are right there, but just couldn't get a solid head on it. By that I mean what you really want to do is you want to be moving into that ball, meeting it, and that allows you to hit that ball into the goal with a lot of force versus just simply trying to redirect it. But you take what you get because you don't always know where the ball is going. So that was a heck of an attempt, and the Raiders are going to try to get back on track here offensively. Old Abe's again working it out wide. You get the ball in. Big tap out, quick play off, and woo! What a save by Hannah Kendhammer. Holy cats. That was a great play. Good, quick little passing by the Old Abe's, but Kendhammer went soccer goalie on that, I think, and actually did a kick save. You don't see a lot of that in soccer, but if you got a goalkeeper that can do that, that's pretty amazing. So great play by Kendhammer, the sophomore goalkeeper for the Raiders. Pretty impressive. The Old Abe's keeping up a solid attack, though, and the Raiders need to pull things together here and get this ball moving amongst themselves up the field. Big punt by Kendhammer, and the Raiders are able to take it. Lewis passes it out. There's Sophia Nault. Gets sandwiched, but Memorial again getting it down that left-hand side, and a quick little pass in. A lot of defense there, though. So, Memorial is moving to every ball, trying to win every ball, whether it's offensive or defensive, and it's been the difference so far. About 5 minutes into the match.
0-0, but so far offensively it's been all the Eau Claire Memorial Old Abe's. Raiders try to move that ball up to Rancinici, and ball goes out of bounds, and it'll be a Old Abe's throw-in. It's an odd time of year for high school sports because seniors have largely not been in school, whereas juniors, sophomores, and freshmen all have been in school. In most cases in high schools, the graduates graduated last weekend or earlier, so kind of a hodgepodge of where kids' brains and bodies and sleep are at, and makes it interesting this time of year. Old Abe's get that ball back outside. They like to feed Molly LaRusso over there. She's been playing quite solidly on the left wing, and finds a nice cross ball there, brings it back and crosses it to Ava Palmiere, who puts a long ball on. That's about a 28, 29 yard shot at that angle, and goes high and wide. But you got to take those opportunities too to see what can happen. So Hannah Kendhammer with the goal kick. It's a low ball taken by the Old Abe's. Ball in by the Old Abe's. There's Molly McDonald with a nice move to that ball aggressively. Raiders defense is going to need to do that. There's Stubendick. Nice play there. Sends it back. Grace Hansen putting that ball up the field. Here comes Nault. She's got some speed and some skill there, and she's able to keep that ball moving. Switches it over to Stubendick. Brings it back to Riley White. Sends it over. Got to move to that ball, and Old Abe step in front of that one and end up setting the ball out of bounds. It'll be a Raiders throw-in. Old Abe's coming out very aggressively, moving for every ball so far and challenging just about everything. So whether they can keep that up the whole match will be the interesting piece. It is still quite warm on the field, and but they've come out strong. Grace Lewis with a nice header there. Rancinici takes it and kicks it up the middle of the field, and Old Abe's goalkeeper is the one who can handle that one, and she's got it and is going to take a punt here. It's a big ball up, big crossing ball up. And a little, it's actually a pretty good cross there by the Raiders. You don't want it too close to the goal, but goalkeeper was out and ready for it and was able to take it. Inadvertent handball there by Hannah Kendhammer. Not much you can do about that. They'll get the ball about, I think it's a little further back than where that is, but the ref is going to let it sit. Maybe that's about right. Number 8, that's Ella Herman lining up with number 3, Ava Palmiere, to take this kick. And Kendhammer getting ready. High shot. Kind of a floater over the goal, so the Raiders avert that crisis, and we'll have a goal kick here. Now approaching about 10 minutes into the first half, and our score is still 0-0. Memorial came out very strong and applying a lot of pressure offensively, but that has evened out a bit here in the last 4 or 5 minutes. Clear by the Raiders, but taken by the Old Abes. Good play by Hansen. Both were locked up. One was going to go down there, but that was pretty equal lockup on that play. Pretty shoulder to shoulder, and I think the Old Abes just sort of lost her balance more than got knocked over because they both were pretty equal and opposite there for you physics majors. Kylie Newis on the sideline and a big shot up the line, and Jillian Brown wins the race to the ball, but is working to get that out, and kind of a quick turn pass in, nobody home for the Old Abes, and Hannah Kendhammer with the punt here for the Raiders. Everything's on the line here tonight. Winner plays Saturday. A loser's season is done. There's a nice little cutback by Ransonici. Does a quick pullback again and looks for some support. Jillian Brown is there and tries to pump a through ball through, but Old Abes seem to be positioning themselves well on the angles to take those through balls away for now. So here's a quick play. Here's Sophia Nault. She's dangerous on this. And there's a goal for Sophia Nault. What a play. That is her bread and butter type of play, and she played that score well, but hold on, maybe not. I guess they're calling offsides. I'm not sure I saw that, but it's not always when it's not always when into the game for the Raiders. Number 19, Nevaeh Tillman. Number 22, Natalie Ramthen. And number 24, Olivia Petty. Thing about offsides is it is not necessarily, usually when you see the flag go up and you look and you say there's no way that's offsides, it can happen long before that flag is up, and sometimes the refs wait to see how the play plays out because they can call advantage and let the goalkeeper have it for a punt versus a free kick, and nonetheless that was still a pretty dazzling play by Sophia Nault there, using her speed and skill to score that. Still, we'll probably have to go back and watch that one on replay to see where the offsides was, but everybody's at a different angle too. The ref is right there, and we go with that call. So Raiders knocking on the door there, and we've got ourselves a ball game here at 0-0, pushing about the 14th minute of the match. Nevaeh Tillman with a big left foot off a, I'm not sure if that was offsides or some kind of a foul play there. Gets it out to Stubendick. She's going to try to use her speed up the sideline. A lot of defense coming in. And the Old Abes put that ball out of bounds. Be a Raiders throw. Ball into Olivia Petty. Over to Stubendick, who gets a cross on. Nice cross. Big header out by the little inadvertent handball missed by the refs, and Tillman drops it in there. Raiders are going to get there. They need a little miscommunication, and Nault's got to get onside. There's a quick play by Stubendick trying to get a corner kick out of it at least, but the ball just goes haywire on him, and Eau Claire goes for a through ball that Hannah Huntley takes, and Maggie McConnell with the clear. High ball up the middle. Oh, there's a nice play by Natalie Ramthen. Stubendick tries for a one-touch little through ball there in the box, and it gets put out by the Old Abes, and we'll have an Old Abes substitution here. Nope, it's a Raiders throw. So number 5, Eliana Boda, is just going to have to wait. Ball into Petty, out to Stubendick. Goal kick called. Things getting a little physical here, but nothing illegal in the rough size at least. And we have a substitution for the Old Abes. In for the Old Abes, number 5, Eliana Boda. Goal kick by the Old Abes goes out of bounds, and Hannah Huntley's lining up to take this throw. We have a great set of volunteers around the field collecting any balls that go out of bounds to keep this game moving. Raiders kind of bunching up a few times. Have to do a little more talking amongst themselves maybe. And the Old Abes trying to get their offensive attack back on, but the Raiders defense has stepped up since the beginning of the game and really limited the opportunities since about the first 5 minutes. Big throw by the Old Abes. Maggie McConnell's going to get that out to Olivia Petty, who tries to one-touch it, and Old Abes end up sticking it out of bounds. And that'll be a Raiders throw. Nevaeh Tillman with the throw coming up here. Again, for those of you tuning in on YouTube, I do not have access to watching the match or the comments, so what I usually do is ask people to add who they're watching from both teams and try to give shout-outs to people and things like that, but not going to happen today. So enjoy what you see and hear, and we appreciate all of you tuning in. There is probably the biggest soccer crowd I've seen here all season for the girls, and I also announced the boys. I'd say it's rivaling any game on the boys' side as well. So pretty exciting, pretty fun. It's a beautiful night here in Hudson, Wisconsin in the St. Croix River Valley. Probably about 72 degrees right now. Sun is coming down. No humidity. It's a spectacular night to be outside and watching some good soccer. Old Abe's on the attack, but the Raiders defense holds. Olivia Petty going for a little chip out. Nobody really home for the Raiders. And Sophia Nault out there puts a little pressure on and wins the ball back for the Raiders. That's what a little bit of pressure will do. Quick throw in by Stubendick to Petty, who goes behind it. Timing was off there a little bit. Hannah Huntley, though, comes out. And a tough play there for Molly LaRusso, who puts the ball out of bounds. Be a Raiders throw. Back into the match for the Raiders, number 11, Armana Ransanici, number 12, Grace Hansen, and number 21, Kylie Newis. So about the 20-minute mark, the Raiders get 3 of their starters on the offensive side back into the match. Riley White there with a good head play to keep that ball from getting through. And let the Old Abes maintain. They try a through ball. Good ball by McConnell to Nevaeh Tillman, who brings it in. Nice cut play. She's going to send it across. A little tight on that angle, and the Old Abes are able to clear it. So number 3, Ava Palmier, trying to do a little chip shot over into the corner to make something happen, but kind of gets away from everybody. In for the Old Abes, number 6, Brianna Hoffman, and number 7, Madison Rosenberger. Ransonici on the ball now. Big step in there by Grace Lewis. Really nice play by Grace. She's going to try to use her speed. Sneaks the ball across. Nobody home, unfortunately. Kind of a slow roller that nobody could get to on either team. I think everybody was holding their breath there, but nice play, Grace Lewis. Pretty aggressive defense by the Old Abes, and the refs lets them play, so it'll be interesting to see if that type of play is allowed game long. But solid general play, so can't complain too much. But that usually escalates, so it'll be interesting to see. Nevaeh Tillman out there on the sideline, playing some good disruptive defense at midfield, and will be a throw for the Old Abes, I guess. Big long throw. Grace Hansen with a nice step up there. Old Abes, though, putting pressure on everywhere. Ball gets out to number 7, Madison Rosenberger. Or I'm sorry, it's number 1, Lydia Palmier. But there's Hannah Huntley playing some good defense deep in the territory. Gets the ball cleared. A little too much on that ball for Ransonici, and the Old Abes are back on it. And there's foul is called there. Kind of looked like perhaps, anyway, either way, Eau Claire was going to have the ball, whether it was a throw-in or a kick there. So they get a kick, which is a little more advantageous, although they can't substitute, which it looks like they want to. And Huntley gets something on that to disrupt it. Grace Lewis hanging with and just allowing them to take their time to make something happen, and the ball goes out for a goal kick for the Raiders. In for the Old Abes, number 13, Adeline Virgutz, and number 15, Avery Bradle. Head-to-head match here tonight. Lots of good play, lots of defense, back and forth. This has been a fun one. Here's Nault. She's got some speed going up the line. Gets a big turn on, gets it into Rancinici, who kind of goes off hard on her, and that's going to be a Raiders throw. Hannah Huntley lining up for the throw. Oh, I guess they switched that to a Old Abe's throw. Both teams subbing quite a bit here in the first half, trying to set things up. Nevaeh Tillman sends the ball deep. Tough play there for Sophia Nault to do much with. Natalie Ramthen or Grace Hansen there with a nice play despite the push in the back, and kept the ball alive, but a tough through ball gets taken by the Old Abes by the Raiders. It's Tillman again on the sideline, keeps it in, brings it back. Rancinici with the ball, brings it back to Grace Hansen. Again, going to send it deep in the corner, see if Nault's speed can get there. It's a little too far for Sophia to do much with, and ends up being a goal kick for the Old Abes. Substitutions for the Raiders, number 4, Jillian Brown, and number 16, Allie Stubendick. Raiders largely have their starting lineup in here now, I believe. Might be in slightly different positions, but about 20, close to 27 minutes into the half, and our score still remains 0-0 by these two rival Big City or Big Rivers Conference teams. If you're unfamiliar with the territory, Eau Claire is about an hour east of Hudson on I-94, probably the main freeway that cuts through Wisconsin, and so these are girls and teams that have played each other for years in traveling soccer and school soccer. Eau Claire is a much larger city, has 2 large high schools, Memorial and Eau Claire North. So Hudson played Eau Claire North in the first round of the regional playoffs, and now they're playing the other team from Eau Claire. So big ball up by Stubendick to Rancinici. He's going to send it through to Grace. Oof. It's a nice little play, and the goalkeeper for the Old Abes, Ashlyn Schrader, made a nice play. She came far out to pick that ball off, but was a good decision, and gets the ball cleared. Probably seen more headers in this half than I've seen in entire games so far this year. So a lot of good heading going on by both teams here. Ramthen gets it back to now the Old Abes get it at center, and they're trying to send a deep ball through. Both teams kind of playing the same strategy here. In the latter part of the first half of trying to send through balls through to see if they can find a seam and an angle. So far, neither have been successful. We'll have a Old Abes throw in, and we got a whole bunch of Old Abes coming in. I missed a few of them. So we'll just let that one roll, because I did not see half of them. Guess the Raiders have had all their starters in except Sophia Nault, who is now back entering the match. Number 17, Sophia Nault, back in the match for the Raiders. Nice head there over to Grace Lewis, who gets it into Rancinici. Makes a turn and plays it out wide, but kind of behind Stubendick, who comes back and is able to tap it out to Huntley, who sends the ball hard up the middle, and that's collected by Ashlyn Schrader, the goalkeeper for the Old Abes. Riley White settles that ball down and gives it to Rancinici. Gets a nice tap out to Grace Lewis, who tries to thread the needle there to good break up there by Riley White. Claire again trying to go deep. Gets the little misplay there by Raiders defense and see if they can do something on the shorter end. Grace Hansen there though, playing nicely. Stubendick. Gets the ball, but the Old Abes are able to manage to get it back and bring it down. We'll see what they can do. Raiders have quite a bit of defense back this time. Grace Hansen off balance a little bit, puts that ball out of bounds. You can see a little bit of pressure on all these girls. This game means a lot to everybody, especially the seniors. Things that might not frustrate them normally are going to be a little bit tough as they fight this one out. That's going to be a goal kick. Referee saw the quick ricochet there, so good defense by the Raiders, and Hannah Kendhammer will take this kick. We're now with less than 9 minutes in the first half. Our score remains 0-0. Stubendick kind of ducked on that ball, and I think the Old Abes were a little surprised that it was going to be a header. A lot of physicality down there between Huntley and Ava Palmier. Big ball up the middle, a little too much pace on it though, because it kind of went straight up the middle. What you really want to do on those plays is send the ball out at an angle, because that is going to keep the goalie thinking twice about coming out to get it or going too far out, and it gives your team a little more. That's a longer, that's a longer line for the ball than going straight at the goalkeeper, and gives your team a chance to get to that ball. So, but in the heat of the moment, sometimes you just let it go, so can't blame anybody for what is happening. That's the real intent of those types of through balls. Jillian Brown stepping up to pop that ball out and be a... Ooh, we do have a sub. Who do we got for the Old Abes? Number 3. Number 3, Ava Palmier in for the Old Abes. Big ball in. Raiders get it and get it clear. Rancinici's able to come back and get that. Grace Lewis going for a long through ball there. Rancinici picks it up, sends it through. This could be interesting, folks. Oh! That was a heck of a play. A little tap out there by Rancinici and Sophia Nault, and a couple Memorial defenders, I think, got a little tangled there, and Sophia she had a chance, but that ball had too much pace on it, and the goalkeeper was out too, but that was exciting. So now we're down to about 6 minutes in the first half. Score remains 0-0. Good play there by Hannah Huntley, breaking that ball up. Good pressure there by Grace Hansen, and Grace. There we go. Now we have Sophia Nault in danger. That's all timing there. I really wish I could see the replay, but ref was on top of it, and it's all timing. You know, to get those breakaways, you got to sometimes take the gamble of getting the offsides. Otherwise, you'll always be a step behind, and they keep knocking on that door. I think something's going to happen for Sophia Nault there. Good play there by Riley White. Gets it out. Just trying to get it out. Steubendick can't get there to cover it, but it's going to be an Old Abe's throw. We're now down to about 4.5 minutes in the first half. Very even match overall. Shots on goal 2-2. And quick chip in by the Old Abe's. One kind of looked like it might have got away from Kendhammer, but it would have went out of bounds either way. Kendhammer gets a high punt, not necessarily a long one, but Raiders are on it. Quick throw by the Old Abe's. They're going to try to make something. I think that was more of an attempt on the goal, but kind of goes wide and might have been better because I think Huntley would have been over that. Here comes Grace Lewis intercepting it. She's got time to carry it. Now she sends it up to Nault. Raiders need a trailer. Good defense there by the Old Abe's, but Riley White is there to pick it up. Puts a little chip in, but again, a little too far up, and is taken by the goalkeeper, Ashlyn Schrader. If the Raiders can get those crossing attempts a little bit lighter, maybe a little higher, slightly different angles. Here's Huntley coming in hard. Big cross by the Old Abe's. Nice play, but the ball's pretty high all the way across the goal, so a tough one to really score on, but nobody was home there really for the Old Abe's anyway. But ball's tight to the goal line too, so it's a tough play for anyone to come in and score off of. So, but a nice play by the Old Abe's, knocking on the door a bit there themselves. Number 22, Natalie Ramthen in for the Raiders. Two minutes. Here come the Raiders. Here's Ransonici. Gets a shot off. Oh, just about a foot over the goal. Goalkeeper was out a little bit far. Ransonici saw an opening, went for it, and narrowly missed that one. But again, score remains 0-0. Exciting opportunities back to back in just like the last 30 seconds. So this game is it's a nail biter. One minute. Here come the Old Abe's streaking down the sideline, trying to put a little cross on. Great play by Maggie McConnell to disrupt that. Maggie is a sophomore defender for the Raiders and having a great season taking on that center fullback position for the Raiders. As a 10th grader, particularly impressive. Old Abe's gearing up for maybe one last run here with 30 seconds left in the half. Stubendick disrupts and gets it. Ransonici steps up. Back to Stubendick. We're now down to 20 seconds. Try to send a light through ball, but up the middle's always tough like that, especially from a deep spot and out at an angle. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. That's your halftime, folks. 0-0. Great soccer so far. Great concessions at the concession stand. Please stop in there and have a little refresher. We're all going to need our energy for the second half. And here we go in the start of the second half of probably the most exciting match of the year so far that I've seen with the Hudson Raiders. Our score is 0-0, and between the hometown Hudson Raiders in blue, playing from right to left, hosting with their number 1 seed in the sectional playoffs here, hosting the Eau Claire Memorial High School Old Abe's here at Hudson Raider Stadium. So another offsides on the Raiders. That one was pretty obvious. So quick free kick here for the Old Abe's deep in their own territory. Exciting match, 0-0. Pretty evenly played. I'd say time of possession was probably very close to being equal. Stubendick gets the ball, tries to make a turn, but the ball is really spinning and made it difficult to do anything meaningful with. There's Kylie Newis. Gets another bouncer there. Now the Memorial with a little opportunity here, but Maggie McConnell with a really solid play, maintaining her position, not being too aggressive, and lets that ball come into her and gets the clear, and then Eau Claire just sends the ball in deep and hard and wide, and so it'll be a goal kick for the Raiders. Both teams moving the ball deep into each other's territory. Hannah Kendhammer with the kick here. There's Grace Lewis on the ball. Riley White brings it over to Stubendick, who's going to try to do something here. Brings it back to Riley White, who chips it up into the middle, but nobody home. Old Abe's moving it up, trying to do a little in and out passing. Riley White steps into the middle of that, though. Grace Lewis tries to thread the needle. Now that's a nice play in collision. Guess they're calling a foul there. Stop the clock. Stop the clock. Stop the clock. That was a very competitive play. Sophia Nault and the collision with number 12, that it would be Aurora Woodford, and looks like Woodford's all right. She's up, walking off on her own power, and will be a free kick here for the Old Abe's, and big kick. Jillian Brown on the ball. And the Raiders escaped that little push by the Old Abe's, and there's Stubendick with the ball out on the sideline. He's going to tries to time it into a moving Grace Lewis, but Eau Claire cut that angle off, and ball exchanges, and the Raiders get the throw. Here comes Riley White on the ball. Old Abe's try for that was about a about a 38-yard shot there. Maybe hoping to catch Kendhammer sleeping a little bit, or maybe hoping to get a little more on that than she did. But Kendhammer easily manages that. And Raiders bring it back. They're going to try to send it up the middle to Stubendix in there. Old Abe's kick that ball out of bounds, and the Raiders will have the throw. Comes Riley White to take the throw. So being that this is the playoffs, this game will not end with a tie. Big play here. Oof. And the substitution here. Lost my binoculars. Number 12, Aurora Woodford, back in the game for the Old Abes. So after the injury, Aurora is back in the match. Good to see that, and glad she is recovered quickly. Might have just had the wind knocked out of her a bit, and glad she's all right and back in the match. So getting back to this match, that since this is the playoffs, it will not end in a tie. So if at the end of the 80 minutes of regulation play it's a tie, then we will play 2 10-minute overtime periods. It is not sudden death, so we will play those 2 10-minute periods. And we'll pause here. It's a quick play in here for the Old Abes. A little turn there, somehow in traffic. Old Abes are able to turn that ball, but Raiders are there to stop it. So if regulation ends in a tie, we'll play 2 10-minute overtime periods. Teams will switch sides. Even if a team scores in the first period, we will play the second period. At the end of that second period, if it is still tied, then it will be a series of the penalty kicks in groups of 5. So can happen, folks, in playoff soccer especially. This game's been very evenly matched, and we'll see what happens. So Old Abe's trying to send that ball deep and through, and it's not a bad ball there. Kind of that is what I described earlier. You kind of want to put that ball a little bit high and out at an angle. That's most effective when there's not much defense around, though, and there was a lot of Raider defense there, so that makes it tougher. And a quick blast off there by the Old Abes, but kind of off balance and not able to really get a good turn on that. So that was number 8, Ella Herman, who's kind of been in the middle of a lot, playing a really nice game for the Old Abes, and Raiders with the kick. Trying to chip it out to Stubendick, but it's going to be a throw-in for the Old Abes. Big throw there. There again was Ella Herman. And Jillian Brown plays strong and keeps Ella from being able to make the turn. And there's another throw for the Old Abes. Riley White playing some good D, and that's going to be a corner kick for the Old Abes. Corner kicks are one of the plays where a significant amount of goals are scored, because you're able to typically drop that ball right into the scoring area. So we'll see if we'll see where the Old Abes do with it. It's a pretty good ball, and the Old Abes are able to get on it, but they send it at a tough angle and goes out for a goal kick for the Raiders. Number 24, Olivia Petty in the game for the Raiders. Goal kick for Hannah Kendhammer. Puts a big boot on it up the middle. Rancinici's fighting out for it. Takes a arm in the back for it. And Hannah Kendhammer comes out nicely for that ball. Right now, the Old Abe's getting here come the Old Abe's again. Good play there by Grace Hansen to disrupt that ball, allowing Maggie McConnell to push it up. She's got nobody on her. Up to Rancinici, who gets kind of sandwiched by defenders. Nice ball out by Stubendick. Kylie Newis tries to do something. The ball was not in a comfortable spot for her, though. She gets a push from behind, and been quite a few of those, and probably the first one called here. So the Raiders will get a free kick in a spot they like, about the 23-yard line at an angle, probably about 27 yards out. And this will be somewhat like actually, it's not a great placement where they're putting the ball. That's definitely not where the foul was, but they got a nice ball in. That's right. Oof. It's a nice grab by Ashlyn Schrader. That was a fingertip grab and kind of reaching out awkwardly. If that went awry, that would probably be a goal. But a nice play by Ashlyn for sure, keeping that ball under control. And Maggie McConnell with the clear after a nice disruptive play there by Kylie Newis. Raiders have the ball up the middle, trying to force it through the middle. Stubendick sends it out wide, but disrupted by the Old Abe's defense. Hannah Kendhammer over there in defense. Big ball through. Eau Claire's got a chance, but Riley White playing strong defense there. Takes the ball probably off the face, it looked like. Olivia Petty with a nice cutback. Ball comes to her, but kind of behind her, unfortunately. And they're going to send the ball up the middle, and the only one who can get that is the goalkeeper. We've seen a lot of that from both teams, but Hannah Kendhammer with it and going to give it a punt. Maggie McConnell. Nice play by Maggie, getting to the ball, turning it up the line, not necessarily just kicking it out of bounds. Claire getting the ball back, however. Sends the ball out wide, and that's going to be a Raiders throw. We're about 12 minutes into the second half, so about 28 minutes left in regulation time. Raiders trying to put it up the line, gets taken by the Old Abe's. It's Maggie McConnell with another nice clear. Rancinici fighting it out in the middle. Grace Hansen with the ball out wide and headed by the Old Abe's. Again, if you're watching on YouTube, just please know that I'm having internet connection problems here in the booth and I'm not able to watch it. Sophia Nault with a quick turn, so if you're putting comments in, I'm not able to check those tonight, unfortunately. Foul on Eau Claire Memorial. Stubendick hits the ground hard and feeling some pain, waiting for somebody to come out. Ref is holding off. So now we're stopping the clock. Well done by the clock manager here in the booth, not jumping the gun on stopping the clock. So it's a big game. You don't want to take players out if they don't need to. Can appreciate that from the referee. Now Stubendick will need to leave the game, and Raiders will have a free kick at about the 23-yard line, right where Stubendick's lane basically is where the foul happened. So at the angle, that's probably about a 25-yard kick. Stubendick's off on her own power. It's kind of a tangled hit there. Ref had the angle as to what who he thought they had more hit there than the other, and I think he must have obviously felt that Eau Claire had probably been a little more aggressive than Hudson on that, and or saw something from his angle that I couldn't see up here. That is the thing about soccer and the camera angles and the angle you're sitting is you miss an awful lot of the match versus someone who's right there on top of it. So probably had equal number of fouls called on both teams, and Maggie McConnell's going to gear up this. Look for her to put it right on the top of the O maybe, or the S, and see if some Raiders can meet this ball and do something with it. So Maggie McConnell, the sophomore defensive player, popping it in. It's a nice ball right around the O, and yes, and there's some disruption. Ransonici. That's going to be a corner kick for the Raiders. This will be their first corner kick of the match. That was a really nice ball by McConnell. It's right where you want it, right in that S and O edge range. It's far enough out that it's tough for the goalkeeper to get through to it, and you can see that the goalkeeper was trying to get it, but too many bodies in the way, and then that ball gets loose, and then you can often hammer it home. Here comes McConnell. There's a big corner kick. Goalkeeper's out again. She's able to get it. She's kind of running out of space for her kick. She's aware, though, and makes a nice play. Hannah Huntley coming out deep to try to keep it in the offensive part, so a really nice play by her to do that, but unable to maintain it. And we'll have a throw-in by the Old Abes. It's number 7, Madison Rosenberger, in the game for the Old Abes. Go, big throw. Ava Palmier she's got a pretty solid throw on those throw-ins, and Eau Claire's knocking on the door, but it's awfully hard to do those little passes. Tough battling there. Great job by Maggie McConnell. That was a physical pushing play, and the sophomore held her own and won that ball, and there's Grace Lewis coming in strong. They're going to give it to Eau Claire for the throw-in, and we have another injury. We're going to stop the clock. I think there was a tangling there, so there was really no foul committed. That was I think her feet got tangled and maybe twisted, so hopefully, like with Stubendick and with, let's see, who was that? Aurora Woodford, that hopefully it's just a tweak and she'll be back on her feet. Stubendick still has not returned to the match for the Raiders, though, so we're going to hope to see her after she gets a little breather, but I see her on the sideline moving around. Actually, she's stretching out. We'll hope to see her back in the match, much like we were glad to see Aurora Woodford back. So Big strong throw by Ava Palmier. That ball sneaking through, a weird ricochet, and the Old Abes get it in the goal. A weird bouncy play. Number 1, Lydia Palmier with the goal for the Old Abes. So, Old Abes strike first blood at about the 56-minute mark. An odd bouncing play all over the place. Hannah Kendhammer made a save. Raiders got on it, and in the mayhem, Palmier is able to sneak that ball in. So, 1-0, Eau Claire Memorial. Lots of time left. I'm sure this game is far from, it's not going to be boring here at the end. Grace Hansen with some nice play out there on defense. And that's Ava Palmier trying to do something with it there, and she sends it in a little too tight to the goal. Hannah Kendhammer. Number 1, Lydia Palmier with the goal. It's a quick ball up to Ransonici, hits her in the back, unfortunately, and some bad luck there, and the Old Abes are able to take it, but then they send it out of bounds on their own. Number 19, Nevaeh Tillman in for the Raiders. Tillman also often brings a spark to the team, so we'll see what Nevaeh does. And Raiders' big goal here is to get one. And Eau Claire, of course, if they can get a second one, that starts to give them some breathing room with this much time left. Number 16, Allie Stubendick back in the match for the Raiders. So Allie, after her injury, has returned to the match. Grace Lewis there with a nice header out to Stubendick. Tries to tap it around, but good defensive play there by Annika Skolos. And Nevaeh Tillman runs that ball out of bounds. Will be a Raiders goal kick. Number 10, Claire Shinner's in for the Old Abes. So we're going to probably see a lot of subbing from the Old Abes now. It's a clock management strategy, nothing illegal about it. You will see at the end of the game, if the Old Abes continue to lead, that in the last 5 minutes, if they sub at any time in the last 5 minutes, the clock will be stopped until the throw is made. That's a rule. Grace Lewis with some nice play there, gets a nice cross in. Kicked out by the Old Abes, will be a throw in for the Raiders. Grace Lewis with a nice cross in, a little too tight for the goalkeeper though, and she's able to just catch that ball pure. Gives it a kick up the middle. Tillman on it, able to collect it, follows it up. Memorial with a lot of good passing sequences today. They've also been able to move that ball around in traffic in some cases where it's hard to believe they could. And that play there, Hannah Kendhammer is able to just threw balls a little too deep, and Kendhammer easily managed it. Riley White all over it now on defense. Maggie McConnell with another really nice play. Header by Grace Lewis out to Sophia Nault. Going to try to use her speed to get around, and she does. And then she cuts back nicely, puts a little left-footed ball on, but unfortunately nobody home there. Hannah Huntley tries to sneak it around too. Olivia Petty out there in the middle trying to get it out wide. Unfortunately, Stubendick was running towards her and not deep for the through ball. And now Petty intercepts. She does a nice cut. Takes a left-footed swipe. Oh! And that ball goes wide. Memorial goalkeeper probably knew that was going wide and let it go. She was in a good spot to make a save, but always looks a little closer than sometimes it is when you're up here in the booth. But nice play by Olivia Petty, and Eau Claire dodges that one and maintains their 1-0 lead. We're now down to about 19 minutes in the match. Good header there by Grace Lewis, and Stubendick plays it off. That's going to be a corner kick for the Raiders. This is the opportunity they need, and see if they can make something happen. You really want to kind of deliver that ball a little bit out so that the goalkeeper cannot easily get to it, and but not too far out that there's too many bodies in the way. So we'll see where Maggie McConnell delivered a really nice corner kick earlier in this half. We'll see what she does here. Again, that's a nice ball. That's right where you really kind of want it. Raiders over pursued a bit, and nobody was sitting out there, but Nault flicks it through. Oh! Again, everybody's kind of running away. Hard to know what to do in that case, but good play there by Nault. Unfortunately, no Raiders to capitalize. Riley White gets a chest on that ball. Two defenders on Grace Hansen makes it tough. Claire getting a little bit of a break, but there's two defenders ready to cover that, and Maggie McConnell's there, but goes off McConnell. It's going to be a corner kick for Eau Claire. So much like that's a big advantage for the Raiders, it's going to be a big advantage here for the Old Abes. With about 17 and a half minutes left, they're going to take their time getting that ball, waiting for the ball catchers to get it. But again, corner kicks are a great opportunity to work the clock a bit. Nothing illegal about it. It's part of the game. Ella Hansen with the ball, because she puts a nice cross on too. We've seen some really beautiful corner kicks here from both teams tonight. That was a great kick right where you want it. Unfortunately for the Old Abes, they had most of their players inside that sweet spot. Navia Tillman getting worked in the corner, and all she can do is put that ball out of bounds, and it's going to be a deep throw, but Ava Palmier of the Old Abes is pretty adept at throwing that ball deep, so Raiders hopefully are ready for that. Gets it in. Tillman tries to get ahead on it. Shot goes right at Tillman. Raiders get it out, but they pop it right back in. Tough first touch on Petty, sends it deep, and now Stubendick's got it, and she's tries to send it deep up the middle, but nobody home. Olivia Petty on it. A little too much contact from Olivia Petty. Good step up by Maggie McConnell. Hannah Huntley with a nice header there. Claire manages to pick it back up, though. Claire's going to get this ball deep again and see if they can do something. Huntley, really some nice defense there, but and then Olivia Petty comes in to help out. Good play. Quick shot, but easily handled by Huntley, or Kendhammer. Big punt. We're now down to about 15 and a half minutes in the match. Eau Claire Memorial 1, Raiders 0 in this semifinal sectional match. Winner plays Saturday, and that is the match to go to state. Here comes Stubendick. She's got it out wide. It's going to be some physical play here. And that goes off the Old Abes. It'll be a Raiders throw. Substitute for the Raiders here. In for the Raiders, number 11, Armana Rancinici. Rancinici, quite a goal scorer this year, along with Stubendick and Sophia Nault. So the Raiders have their scorers in. A host of other players also had pretty good seasons putting the ball in the net. So the Raiders have got some scorers out there. They just need to get some opportunity to get those solid plays off. So comes a throw by the Old Abes. Tillman's going to step up, sends it. Rancinici's got some time. She's going to send it out wide, but the angle of that ball just went right to the Old Abes, unfortunately. Rancinici takes one off the head there. Old Abes get it back. Quick turn there by the Old Abes, and they're going to send it across, and McConnell has no choice but to get her body on it, and that ball's going to go out and give the Old Abes another corner kick opportunity. There's a goal for the Old Abes, number 10 from number 8. Number 10, Claire Shinners with the goal for the Old Abes. So the Old Abes with 2 goals in this second half and leaving the lead 2-0. We're at about 13 and a half minutes, which is a long time to play. So the Raiders still have the time to put 2 goals on the board and try to get this game tied up and push it into overtime. So earlier this season, the Raiders scored 2 goals in about 25 seconds, so they've certainly got that in them. But they're going to have to move that ball wisely. They're going to have to watch those angles of those passes and take every opportunity they can to make good things happen. And here comes Nault. She's going to get to this. Where are the rest of the Raiders? She's popping it back. And, Raiders just weren't going to be there for that one, I don't think. But great play by Sophia Nault and good hustle. And that's the kind of thing they need. And they need to be pursuing both offensively and defensively to make things happen here. In for the Raiders, number 4, Jillian Brown, and number 21, Kylie Newis. Now down to about 12 and a half minutes, and as we said, Eau Claire's going to work the clock with substitutions as much as they can. Number 13, Adeline Virgutz in for the Old Abes. Until 5 minutes, Eau Claire can sub at will, and which always will take about 20 seconds off the clock or so. So it's a common strategy. At the 5-minute mark, though, as long as the Hudson doesn't want to sub Eau Claire, the clock will stop. So Coach Solom will probably use that strategy and not sub much. And a quick ball in by Newis, but managed well by Ashlyn Schrader, goalkeeper for the Old Abes, who's played very well tonight, and thwarts that attempt. Here's Grace Hansen on the ball. She brings it back a little soft on that, but McConnell's able to at least get to it and pops it off the Old Abes, and it'll be a Raiders throw. Most likely we're not going to see subs for the Raiders at this point. They want every second they can. And I'm guessing that's where Coach Solom's going to be unless he absolutely needs to. Ava Palmier with a nice takedown there. A little collision, and Stubendick goes down, but that was a ball collision. It really wasn't a physical collision. Good step up by Riley White, playing a tough game there in the middle. Raiders pop the ball deep up the side. Nobody home, and it's going to be a throw-in for the Old Abes. A little over 10 minutes. Ref is directing the Old Abes to get that ball thrown. It can take a little time, but he may choose to do other things if that continues until the 5-minute mark. Old Abes get a quick turn there. Kendhammer pops it up. You're going to have to start moving this ball up the field quickly, and you're going to really have to watch the angles, the Raiders, to maintain control of that ball. Hit from behind. I think the reason the fans are most upset is it hasn't been called a lot tonight, but definitely was a foul. Can't just go up and shove someone in the back. So, but it's still a foul at the 50-yard line. Not a lot's going to happen. McConnell's going to pop it up there, though. Ransonichi gets herself to it, somehow sneaks some balls through. Newest, that's a nice cross. Another offsides on the Raiders. And that's kind of been the name of the game tonight. Raiders have had opportunities, partly because they've been offsides, but we have a whole bunch of subs coming in. In for the Old Abes, number 1, Lydia Palmier, number 7, Madison Rosenberger, and number 9, Molly LaRusso. In for the Raiders, number 10, Kalia Heyer, and number 24, Olivia Petty. Now down to about 8 minutes in the match. Sometimes you will see coaches put a whole different set of group in because sometimes a different group will make something happen. It's just fresh legs and a different way to look at it. So a couple new players in for the Raiders. We'll see what happens. Down to about 7.5 minutes in the match. Great play by Maggie McConnell. Gets a good solid head on. Petty trying to sneak it through 2 defenders. Tough to do. Eau Claire's really played with a pretty solid intensity all over the field. They've won a lot of balls. They've really put themselves at the angles and the right spots to disrupt a lot. And those are some of the things that are leading to this 2-0 lead here. That ball's going to go out, and that should be a Raiders throw. Oh, I guess it's a Old Abes throw. Now down to about 6.5 minutes with the Old Abes continuing their 2-0 lead. Nault now on the left side. We have Kalia Heyer over on the right side, striker in position. Big ball over there. Headed out by the Old Abes. Nice play, but there's Natalie Ramthen with her own header. Old Abe's still working it. Kylie Newis with some solid D there. Now down to less than 6 minutes in the match. Throw in here for the Old Abes. Petty with a nice use of her body there to get that ball. Sends it up to Ransonichi. One goal changes everything for the Raiders. Rancinici with a hold, but the referee is signaling advantage. So what he gauged there was he saw the foul. He saw that Rancinici held. Now that's a retaliation foul, and that is going to be a card. Rancinici held, but she let go, and the player had a clear advantage to hold on to the ball. And so the ref did not call a foul, and that's his prerogative, and it's the right thing to do. And when you see him pointing his arm like he was at that time, then that is a sign for advantage. The play back, though, was a clear kind of retaliation play on Rancinici and a yellow card. So that player has to leave the match. They can re-enter. Depending on how many yellow cards they have, that can affect you in the regional playoffs. That if you have too many, you may not play the next game sometimes, depending on how many you have. It's also the case with red cards. McConnell with the kick. Riley White with the defensive play. We're now at that 5-minute mark where we stop the clock for every throw-in. I don't know. So we'll be watching it. If Eau Claire chooses to sub on their own, the clock will stop. That is the rules. Some people may be a little unhappy with us in the booth for stopping the clock there if they don't know that rule. But we'll see what happens. So Eau Claire, I'm going to imagine, is not going to sub until maybe the very end. Raiders fighting out to the end, and they be a goal kick. Now down to about 4.5 minutes here. It's been a really all-around a terrific game to watch. As a Raider fan, you certainly wish that they'd get a goal here and make things interesting, but there's still time. You never know, so we're going to remain a little hopeful, but it's been a terrific game either way. It's been fun watching these girls all season, and we wish the seniors who graduated last year well if this happens to be the last match, but let's see what happens here. Maggie McConnell in the corner. That's off of all right, it's going to be a Old Abe's throw. And we're now down to about 3.5 minutes in the match. Stop the clock. This is the Eau Claire throw. So that's why we stop the clock every time they have a throw in now. I actually forgot about that. Big throw in. You could see that the ref was prompted because number 3 was just walking to the ball very slowly. And a foul there, trying to somewhat. That's sometimes a clock ploy too. And Maggie McConnell's going to quickly run up and take this kick. We got to get it moving. Big kick up, trying to hit Nault, but goes out of bounds. That's stop the clock. Stop the clock. And there we go. Or no, I guess we don't stop the clock there, but big ball in. Hustle by Eau Claire, and their goalkeeper fetches that ball, and we're now down to about 2 minutes and 40 seconds. Raiders pushing it to try to get something on the board. If they can get one, then they got a chance, but they got to get that first one here. You get one, and then you never know if you might get a errant PK at some point for some reason. Grace Hansen using her height advantage there well with the header. That's going to be a Raiders throw. We don't stop the clock here, so the Raiders will be hustling to get that ball. Quick throw in, stepped up by Eau Claire. 2 minutes. Ball into Kalia Heyer down there. She's going to take a quick turn. Try to make something happen. Good defensive play by the Old Abes. Raiders will have a throw. Clock is ticking now. It's looking like it's going to be pretty difficult for the Raiders here. Old Abes played a very solid match, though. Hard to say they didn't earn this one. Two scrappy goals, able to get it in the net. The Raiders had some opportunities, not as many as they're quite used to because the Old Abe's defense has been pretty stout, but a good all-around play for Memorial. And we'll certainly hope they do well at the next round to show the Big Rivers Conference around the state. A lot of people don't think from Eau Claire west in the state 1 minute is able to compete at the state level. So it'll be great to see what Eau Claire can maybe do to show what we do out here. Big ball in. This is where it can still be interesting, and that ball just gets through and nobody's there, unfortunately, to do anything meaningful with it. Again, like to congratulate the seniors for Hudson on a great season. They graduated last week here at the stadium on a hot day and had a good time at the all-night party, and we know they're all going to go off and do great things at the end of the year, or next fall, I should say. And here we go. Here's the end of it. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Congratulations to the Old Abes. I'd like to thank both teams for a fantastic match, 2 great seasons. Hats off to our Hudson High School seniors. Good luck to you in the future. I'd like to thank our coaches and referees for a great match. Thank our friends around the field for collecting those balls for us. Thanks, parents, for all you've done this year for your girls and your teams. Good luck to Eau Claire in your next match, and everybody have a good, safe ride home tonight. Thanks.